Hello, Leos, and welcome to this, your early April reading. The intention of this reading is to go out to all of those who are born under the sign of Leo, as well as anyone else who has a significant amount of Leo in their charts. The intention is for this video to be looking at predicting, projecting the energies that will be influencing you from approximately April 1st to April 15th. Before I actually pull any cards, I just want to clarify timing with all of you guys. A lot of the time, psychics get this backlash of, oh, well, you said something was going to happen on the 12th and it didn't happen. Okay. Why does that happen? There's actually two reasons why it happens. The first reason is because when we are dealing with a psychic or tarot cards or oracle cards, what we are actually doing is we're tapping into a different realm or a different plane of existence. Time moves at a different rate of speed on different realms and different planes. And therefore, there are some psychics who are very, very good at adjusting for that, and other psychics who miss the mark sometimes. And that's okay. You know, when you're dealing with the ethereal realms, things have the opportunity to not line up the same way they would here on the earth realm. The second reason why sometimes things don't plan out or pan out the way that you anticipate because you went to go see a psychic or a tarot card reader is that you have free will. And the psychic or tarot cards are picking up exactly where you're at in the moment and the trajectory of your life in the moment of the reading. And what happens is that as you're going through the reading, you may see something or hear something from the reading. No. Not going down that road, completely not interested in taking that route. For example, if a psychic says, oh, the cards look like you might be, hooking back up with your ex, and you're going, nope, not going to happen. What you do is you then step into that free will that I keep talking about, and you make changes and you make adjustments and you make decisions so that in the end, you don't end up going towards something that you, using your free will, actually don't want. Okay, it's perfect. And therefore, the prediction that's made, oh, in 2 weeks' time, we see you doing a certain thing. Sorry, someone keeps phoning me over and over. They will not leave me alone. He needs to wait. This is more important. Okay, Leo. So what can happen is your current trajectory can predict you to be going one way. And then you go, no, I don't like that. And then you go like this. Okay. The final thing that I want to say before I start pulling cards for you, Leo, is this. I've talked about free will. This is a general reading intended for all of the Leos out there. So if you have a really, really important decision to make, by all means, consult tarot readers, psychics, intuitives, your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, your religious leaders, your professors, whoever. Throw all of the advice that you get from all of those people into a great big pot, give it a great big stir, tap into your own heart center, and make the decision from your own free will. Never make decisions based solely upon one person's advice. All right. For those of you who are new here, I do work with a number of different tarot decks as well as oracle card decks. So you're going to see a number of different cards and so on coming out. Also, when I'm pulling cards for you, I do leave them face down until I'm actually ready to read them. And this allows for more of the psychic or intuitive insights to come up. Okay, Leo. The very first card that we're going to pull pertains to where you are at now while I'm doing this reading here at the end of March 2023. Oh my goodness. Okay, that one is all the way on the floor. So I'm going to disappear. Where are the Leos now? All right, we've got 2 more cards. Okay. Leo, apparently you are busy. Okay. That one, and then these 2. One of these cards did come out and it is very upside down. So we're going to read it that way. What are you focusing on for April 1st to the 15th, Leo? Where are we going? Let's go over here to this deck. All right. What are the Leos focusing on April 1st to the 15th? What is Leo focusing on? Interesting. Okay. Leo, for almost all of the readings that I've already done, people have 5, 6, 7 cards popping out here and you've got 1. So I guess that you're being a little bit more focused in whatever it is that you're doing. Let's have a look at difficult insights. Difficult insights and influences for Leo for the first half of April. Difficult influences and insights. Whoa. All right. Am I actually meant, okay, Leo, you had 1 card come out for your focus, and now you've got almost 20 cards that came out for your difficult influences, including 1 on the floor again. I don't buy that you have this much coming out. You'll hear that humming in the background. Difficult influences and insights. Let's just go through this pile of about 20 cards here and just see what is going on for you. All right, let's see if we can get this to be narrowed down, Leo, because I honestly don't believe that you have this many difficult influences coming up for the first half of April. That's unreasonable. All right, 2 cards. That resonates. Okay, 3. There's 1 more that popped out as I was setting the cards back with the rest of the deck. Okay. The next card that we're going to pull is a card that we refer to as it just makes sense. It is a card that begins to pull the rest of the reading together. And oftentimes it's a card with similar meanings to some of the other cards that have already come up, and therefore kind of gives us that double reinforcement of the meaning of some of the cards. Okay. This makes sense for Leo. What makes sense for Leo? Okay, we're going to go through this one more time. Oh, there's 1. Is there anything else? Nope. All right, but that one landed on the floor again. Okay. The next cards that we're going to pull for you, Leo, are cards that are unexpected influences and insights. Unexpected influences and insights for Leo. Early April. Okay. All right. Okay. And the final cards that we're going to pull for you, Leo, is what is your anticipated outcome? Now, this is a projection or a prediction as to where you're going to be and what will be influencing you come April 15th, approximately. And I am getting called back over here to this naughty deck that just keeps wanting to have cards flying out left, right, and center. All right. General overall outcome for the Leos. Right around the middle of April. Now this deck's going to have nothing come out, right? Because I told it off. There we go. Okay. Perfect. And just excuse me for 1 second. There we go. Okay. Leo, let's have a look at Okay, Leo, I'm going to encourage you to actually, whether you have a lot of Virgo in your chart or not, I'm going to encourage you to just have a quick peek over at the early part of the reading for Virgo, because you have two cards that are exactly the same. Actually, more than two cards. Wow. You have very, very similar cards to the cards that came up for Virgo. So there's obviously some similarities in what's going on in your life, Leo, and what's going on with the Virgos. The first card that you have is the Four of Autumns. Four of Autumn. This card corresponds to the Four of Pentacles. And this is a card of make sure that you are using your money wisely. Okay. Make sure that you are not overspending at this time. Perhaps sit down and look at your budget. Make sure that what you've got coming in is not less than what you have going out. You need to try to achieve that balance. That's where you're at now, and what you should be concentrating on right here, right now at the end of March. The next card that you have is the Lovers. Okay. So the Lovers card may indicate new romantic love coming in, or an improvement in your current romantic situation if you're already in a relationship here, Leo. But this card can also indicate good health coming in for you. And for those of you who are on the other end of the spectrum, who are not in a relationship and not interested in a relationship, this card can indicate a new friend, like really good friend, confidant, or a mentor coming in for you. The next card that you have, interestingly, is this one, and it did come up inverted. And this card corresponds to the Tower in the traditional tarot. This card coming up in the You Are Here Now, Leo, in the inverted position, is telling me that you have either just experienced a Tower moment, or you are in the throes of your Tower moment right now here at the end of March. This is actually not a bad thing. And I keep repeating this to people. Tower moments are uncomfortable. They are like putting on an itchy, scratchy sweater when it's brand new. And every time you put it on, it's really uncomfortable. But then you wash that sweater 2 or 3 times, and then all of a sudden it becomes your favorite sweater. That's what Tower moments represent. And because this is upside down or inverted for you, Leo, it's an indication that you may be wearing a really itchy, scratchy sweater right now here at the end of March. The final card that you have is the Prince of Autumn, also known as the Knight of Pentacles. This is a card telling you to be really, really wise in whatever actions you're taking, specifically related to money, job, or career. Pay attention to details. If you have to sign a contract or do anything like that right now, Leo, this card is saying, especially given that it's next to a tower, this card is saying, make sure you read that contract before you put your autograph on it. Let's have a look at what you're focusing. Make plans freely. Leo, this is what you're focusing on. First half of April 2023, April 1st through the 15th. Make plans and focus. Not surprising that this is in your focus, given that you are likely in the throes of a Tower moment right now. You're likely in the throes of, whoa, what just happened? Okay. I do want to point out as well that with this Tower being here, it's indicating that you can't really avoid the Tower moment, despite the fact that it is inverted. You are likely experiencing it, you are on the cusp of it, or you're just coming out of it. This is not a future prediction that you are going to be having a Tower moment in 8, 10, 12 days. This card is saying it's here, it's on top of you, okay? Now, these two cards, the Lover and the Tower here, the Lovers and Tower, are surrounded by pentacles. Pentacles typically refer to work, job, or career, and money. A lot of money. So Leo, I just want to go back. This is a card of make sure you're budgeting. This is a card of make sure you're paying attention to the details. And they are surrounding the Lovers. So perhaps for some of you, this Tower moment may even indicate a change or a shift in your relationship status. And you're going to want to pay attention to details, contracts. It may indicate the ending of a relationship, in which case, you know, if there's a division of assets, pay really close attention to what you're doing. If there's a breakup happening, you're going to want to make sure that you have enough money for the next phase that you're going through. And it could also indicate for the opposite that you are entering into a new relationship. And as you enter into the new relationship, make sure you're being clear about money with your new partner, and make sure you're being, you know, really clear if you sign a lease and you're moving in with someone new. Okay, Leo, there's some really, really important information here. And so it stands to reason that your card of focus for the first half of April is that you need to make plans and you need to focus. And what I have in my mind coming up, like as a visual, I am clairvoyant, so I do get visual messages, is I can see you sitting there and actually making lists. So really important that you're paying attention to this. Let's have a look at your difficult influences. We did have quite a number of cards that came out. We've narrowed it down to 3. You have the Fool here. The Fool is the 0 card. It is the very first card in the tarot. And so this card is about new beginnings. It's all about new beginnings. Okay. Given that this came up in your difficult influences, Leo, I'm going to say that you're struggling against this new beginning. And instead of being foolish about it, you're going to be smart, which is good, but you're also not having fun. So this is a card about, you know, don't be foolish in what you're doing, but you can still be playful in your new beginning. You have this card upside down. This is a card of understanding, but it's upside down in your difficult influences, which means that you really haven't grasped the full bigger picture and the full understanding of what exactly is happening. And the other thing that you have in your difficult influences here is the projections card. What you want to do is make sure that you're not projecting an outcome onto something based on your past beliefs and experiences. Okay. So the example that comes up quite often when the projection cards come up is that if you are stepping into a new relationship, which you may be doing, indicated by the Lovers card coming up here. If you're stepping into a new relationship, what you don't want to be doing is projecting what happened in a past relationship onto the current relationship, because that's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if, for example, your ex lied, okay, you don't want to step into a new relationship believing that your new partner is going to lie to you, because that's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, so you're being warned here, Leo, to pay close attention to your projections in this first half of April, and make sure you're not projecting your belief systems out there. Make sure you're going into things with clear consciousness, you know, not with preconceived notions. This card makes sense because you're being called into being in the flow. Okay. These cards for where you're at now, having the Lover, the inverted Tower, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Prince of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. What these cards are indicating is that you've got a bunch of new beginnings. It's same with this Fool card coming up in your difficult influences. You've got a bunch of new beginnings. You've got a lot going on. The bottom line is that you can't avoid this change, Leo. It's coming. And so this card makes sense because it's asking you and requesting of you to step into flow. Begin to go with the flow. You don't have to control everything, and you don't have to control the outcome. But what you do have to do is accept that change is coming, go with the flow. You know, you still want to make sure that you're budgeting properly here with this Four of Pentacles, and you still want to make sure that all of your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. But you don't want to be bucking up against the system and saying, no, I don't want this. In your unexpected insights, you've got transform and unveil your gifts. This makes sense. This really does make sense, Leo, because like I just said, you've got a whole bunch of change coming. So you might as well accept it and begin to transform, become the shapeshifter. And as you do so, your gifts are going to unfold. You've got the Shaolin Master. Be graceful in your movements. Okay. This is another card of being in flow, right? The Shaolin Masters are renowned the world over for their ability to just go with the flow. That's part of the reason that they are amazing, fantastic fighters, is because they use what comes at them to their advantage. They never make the first move. Okay. They go with the flow. What comes in at them, they are able to react to and move through. Okay. So that's what you're being asked to do right now, Leo. And the final card that you have in your unexpected insights is setting your sights higher, the Stargazer. This card coming up in unexpected insights is telling me that as you Leos are moving through this shift and this change, there is an aspect of you that's pulling back, almost going, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Okay. Almost that imposter syndrome is coming up for me, Leo. And this card is encouraging you. Don't let that come in. Not allowed. Your final cards coming in here for your outcome. Interestingly, the very first card that I turned over for you was the Four of Autumn, also known as the Four of Pentacles. This is a card of you need to budget. You need to make sure what you have coming in is sufficient to cover what you have going out. And in your general overall outcome, you have the Four of Rainbows, which corresponds to the Four of Pentacles. You have the exact same card. What this is telling me, Leo, is that going into mid-April, you are likely to be in a similar position financially in the middle of April as to where you are at now here at the end of March. Is that a bad thing? No, but what it is saying is keep an eye on the money, keep counting those pennies, keep counting those pesos if you're in Mexico like me. Just stay on top of your money, okay? Be paying close attention to it. The next card that you have is yet another pentacle. This is the Eight of Pentacles for you in your general overall outcome. And this ordinariness card, Leo, with regards to your money specifically, is saying that you're moving into this place where it's just okay. It's not big, it's not grand, it's not over the top abundance. It's not like the King of Pentacles came out here. This is saying you're okay. You're ordinary, you're okay. You've got enough to cover what your needs are. And that's okay as your outcome come mid-April, especially with all this other stuff going on. And especially because the very last card of your reading, Leo, for your outcome is the Transformation card. What did I say? You have a new beginning starting right now with this card coming in your difficult influences. The more you buck up against this, the more this is going to be uncomfortable. This card corresponds to the death card in the traditional tarot. It means that you have more changing and more shifting coming in for you by mid-April. Not a bad thing, but you're being given the heads up, because in this deck, rather than representing it as a death card, this card or this deck actually represents it more so as a transformation. And transformations are always beautiful. Look at the image on the card, how beautiful that is. Okay, you've got the image of somebody growing and they're making their connection with the divine, and they're sitting here on a lotus flower representing that they are coming into full bloom. Everything about this card is actually good when you accept that the only constant in life is change. So on that happy note, Leo, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me here at the beginning of April 2023. And I hope that you'll join me again come mid-April for your next reading. Thank you.